Hey guys, this is the first segment of Painting Hoops, where I'm trying to go over some of the finer details that may make or break specific NBA plays, with the hopes of trying to shed some light on some of the minute decisions that the NBA players have to make on a regular basis. The first thing I want to go over is the Raptors-Brooklyn game that happened last Monday. Brooklyn was able to tie the game late in the fourth due to some great shooting by Quincy Yacey that may have been the result of some serious defensive lapses by the Raptors, but that might be the subject of another video. And really, the reason Toronto wasn't down at this point was due to some great offense by DeMar DeRozan. It seemed like he was able to get anywhere he wanted on the court and was carving up the Brooklyn defense, which is why it was kind of surprising that this was the last shot of the game.
For Toronto to take the last shot, get ready for DeMar DeRozan because they want the ball in his hands.
Raptors looking for the win. Right defended by LeVert. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. DeRozan turns. DeRozan for the win. No good. Overtime.
So obviously that's a pretty bad shot, a long fadeaway over double coverage from just inside the three-point line. But is that the shot this play is trying to develop, or did something go wrong somewhere? If we slow the clip down, we can examine the action a little more closely. After Lowry inbounds the ball to DeLon Wright, Ibaka and Miles immediately go toward the baseline to draw their defenders away from the action. Lowry then runs cross court to set the screen on DeMar's man. If we pause the moment DeMar gets free, we can see the play's been pretty effective so far. Both Miles and Ibaka's defenders are down by the baseline, fearful to leave either of them open since they're both well-known shooters. And Lowry sets a very effective screen. You can see DeMar's man struggling to get around him, and Dinwiddie's unsure whether to switch or not. With DeMar now wide open, the only thing left is the pass from DeLon Wright, and this is where the play breaks down. DeLon makes two crucial errors on the pass, the first of which is timing. Ideally, the pass should be made at this moment or slightly before it. The screen is set, DeMar's free from his man, and Dinwiddie shows no signs of trying to help. DeLon needs to recognize this and make the pass at this moment so that DeMar can get the ball as he curls around the free throw line. If we look at the rest of the clip, we see that DeLon doesn't anticipate that DeMar is going to be open and instead waits until he is already open to start making the pass. At this point it's much too late, and DeMar doesn't have control of the ball until he's already above the three-point line, forcing him to take that low percentage long two. The second error that DeLon makes on the pass is the placement of the ball. A lot of NBA players, notably LeBron, put a lot of emphasis in interviews and media talk about how important the placement of the pass is, and this is a great example of why. When DeRozan's coming off the screen, DeLon can either pass it to him on his left or right side. Typically when a screen is set on the outside of the floor, the player wants to curl in toward the basket to get closer to the bucket. And that's exactly the way this play is going. Lowry's got DeMar's man pretty held up by the screen, so DeLon should pass the ball onto DeMar's right side so DeMar can curl in toward the basket for a free throw line jumper that he'll hit 8 times out of 10, or since Dinwiddie is still caught up with the screen, DeMar might be able to get him underneath his right arm and curl all the way toward the bucket for a left-handed finish. Instead, what we see in the play is that DeLon passes the ball not only late, but on DeMar's left shoulder, forcing DeMar to quit his curl toward the rim early and come out toward the three-point line and catch the ball in a pretty awkward spot. Not only does this put him further away from the basket, but it takes more time to curl around and do almost a full circle to square up instead of a quick turn that it would take if the ball was on DeMar's right. So the end product is a much lower quality shot, but at least DeMar can show off the type of lift he can get on his jumper. All in all, I think this is a great example of how each individual part of the play contributes to the end result. The pass may seem like one of the more trivial aspects of the play, and if one only saw this game live, they might get frustrated with Dwayne Casey for drawing up another end-of-game ISO for DeMar, but really it was a well-drawn-up play that was executed greatly until a slight hiccup in the pass. And that's not to harp on DeLon Wright. I think he's an awesome young point guard who has the potential to become an all-star caliber player someday, but these are the type of things you expect with your young players. Reading the situation and understanding when the pass is going to be there before it happens is something that can only be gained with experience, which he seems to be getting more of lately. Well, that's the first segment of Painting Hoops, and hopefully I was able to shed some light on how some of the little details can affect the play in a big way. And I'll be trying to get another one of these out as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.
47 days later, OECP only ever create paper. GHGD, give a dick, don't data. HOPE, hope